What's up, everyone? Ranking Show Fantasy Smack Talk Week 12, and that's right, Nameco solo. Dustin, my boy, can't make it, so it's a week of Nameco. So before we get into that, you know we're going to start giving a shout out to mybookie.ag. It's great online gambling, online betting site for all of your, get your sports fun in. And with Thanksgiving Day having 3 games, place 3 bets. It's absolutely fantastic. Chill, watch the games, win some cash, then eat some turkey. It's going to be a good day. So even though my boy's not here, we're going to start in the exact same order. We're going to start with quarterbacks, even though I've always wanted to start with running backs, receivers, and quarterbacks. But Dustin has to start with quarterbacks. He's Dustin. I digress. Going to quarterbacks. Going to start with number 9, Big Ben. The reason I want to talk about Big Ben, sure, he's been great as of late. 6 touchdowns in the last couple games. He had 45 attempts last week, which is, what I really like, and obviously he blew up. But we have him ranked at number 9, and I just want you to know, he is a top 10 play this week. However, because he's playing Green Bay, I'm not worried about Green Bay. However, don't think because he blew up last week, you should, and maybe you've had 2 quarterbacks, he's been on your bench. You're not starting him over Wentz, you're not starting him over Brady still. Don't let that recency factor play too much into consideration with him. Other quarterback I want to chat about is Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford's been great as of late. Last 3 weeks, 20+ points in each of those games, which is extremely solid. They're playing the Vikings, who's given up a decent amount of points. And kind of one of those random fun facts, the last 4 years, the Lions have won on Thanksgiving Day. Prior to that, they had a 9-year losing streak, so history says that the Lions keep winning. They've been playing well as of late. Stafford's been playing well as of late. So that's where I'm kind of really looking to go here. I'm going with Stafford as another interesting play. All right, before we get into running backs, let's talk about FanDuel. QD, D-Sign711 was our winner. So make sure you get in this week and play. He's going to get he or she, not sure, is going to get the I Beat the Experts at Fantasy Smack Talk t-shirt. You can win this week, so make sure you get into our game. You can also win the cash prizes. Sign up for FanDuel, and so you'll see the link below. Do all of that, and you get a free entry to the Sunday Million, which is also amazing. All right, let's get into those running backs. First one I want to highlight is number 14, Tevin Coleman, playing for Atlanta. He's playing against the Bucks. I don't think Freeman's going to play again. Last 2 weeks, he's had 20 touches and 20 carries in each of those games. Due to that fact, I do like Coleman as a nice play. Again, he's inside our top 15, which makes him a solid RB2, which means he's making all of my lineups. But again, just make sure you know what's going on with Freeman. It doesn't look like he's going to play. However, things could change. Number 18, Joe Mixon. Next I want to highlight, talking about 20 touches for Coleman. Most touches he's had all year, most carries he's had all year was 20 last week. This week he faces the Browns that give up plenty of points to those running backs. I think it's a good chance for Mixon to potentially have a breakout party. I think the Bengals get up early. I think their defense does well, which means a lot of running the ball, which means Mixon gets a lot of touches, and he certainly has the ability to break a long one for a touchdown. As we move into kind of the second half of our running back rankings, number 31, Booker for the Denver Broncos. He actually out-touched C.J. Anderson last week. Something to keep in mind. When they drafted him, there was a lot of hype around him, so the pedigree's there. And they're at this point, right, Paxton Lynch is going to end up starting. It looks like they're playing for next year. They want to see what they got. So you see what Lynch and Booker can do combined. I think Booker can make some noise against this Oakland defense that isn't too great. So he out-touched him last week. Oakland's not great. Does he out-touch CJ again? It absolutely could happen. Then I want to highlight number 38. He actually might move outside of our top 40, but I just wanted to bring up the name Marshall for the Washington Redskins. They're playing the Giants on Thanksgiving, and he's going to probably be your third down back. Sure, P. Ryan's going to get a lot of the third down work as well, but just keep an eye on Marshall. Like I said, he might move out. He's completely a flyer at this point, but in PPR leagues, he could have, he could be kind of interesting. And I do believe in some leagues he's got wide receiver eligibility, so you could actually start a running back wide receiver, which is interesting. So again, Marshall for the Washington Redskins might move out of this slot at 38 by the time the games kick off, but a guy to keep in mind that, I don't think we talked about, or I talked about on the waiver wire show necessarily. All right, want to talk about those Thanksgiving games. You keep hearing me talk about Thanksgiving. Note, Dallas, Chargers, Washington, Giants, Lions, Vikings, all play on Thanksgiving. So if you have guys like Freeman or Duke Johnson who are buried in our running back rankings or not even in right now from what you guys are seeing, and you can check out our website to see all of our rankings, But you got to keep that in mind, because if they're questionable, we're not going to know necessarily if they're playing on Sunday to Friday or Saturday. And if your option to replace them are Thanksgiving Day, Thursday people, you might have to bump them into the lineup. Like, there's a league where, unfortunately, I'm not going to start Duke. I think he's going to play, but in case he doesn't, I had to move one of my Thursday night guys into that spot. Or the other thing to note with those guys that are questionable, at least move them to the flex so you have some options later on. So keep that in mind. Plan ahead. It's very key with 3 games on Thursday to absolutely plan ahead. All right, moving to those wide receivers. First guy I really want to talk about is a guy that's been balling out, is Adam Thielen, coming in at number 7 this week. We couldn't suppress him any longer. He's been absolutely unbelievable. Just about, over 100 yards the last 2. I think he had like 98 the one before that. He's been scoring touchdowns, finding the end zone. He's been breaking long ones, getting a lot of targets. Adam Thielen's the real deal. We got to have him inside our top 10. I think this is the first time all year, and he should obviously been in the last 2 weeks, so shame on us. Number 16, I want to talk about Keenan Allen. This is also like Big Ben. Don't, because a lot of people had him on the bench last week and they were kicking themselves and they're like, oh, why did I do that? But he really hadn't been great up to that. What he did last week was $159 and 2 touchdowns. Prior to that, I believe he only had 1 touchdown, so he doubled up his touchdowns in 1 week. And the last 3 weeks prior to that, I think he had a total of 159 yards. So, he pretty much had the game of the season, obviously, last week. So don't think you're going to start him over studs. However, he is obviously a flex consideration, because I do like that matchup against Dallas, which should be a high-scoring game. Next, I want to talk about number 23, and that's Crowder for the Washington Redskins. They finally placed Pryor on IR. And I do like Doxson, but Crowder is a target monster. The last couple weeks, Cousins has been just throwing it to him. While I don't think he's in line for $120 and 2 touchdowns, that's never going to be the type of game he gets. But if you're, especially in your PPR league, could I see 8 catches for 88 yards and a score? Absolutely. So I do think Crowder's an interesting play. Next, number 37 is Jordy Nelson. We told you to bench him last week, and that was the correct call. He might move outside our top 40 by the time we get to kickoff. As of right now, he's got him at 37. You probably got to move him out again. Man, does Jordy miss him some Aaron Rodgers. All right, make any questions that you have, put them down in the comments. We'll be answering them. I know Dustin's in here, but he'll still be able to answer the questions. I'm going to get in a lot, answer the questions. If you had some questions on the waiver wire video, don't worry. We're going to get to them. I'm going to hit you up tonight. I'm going to actually do some work on Thanksgiving. So we're going to try to answer all your questions, so make sure you ask them in the comments below. All right, as I move to tight end, Greg Olsen, first guy I want to talk about at number 6. I know he's coming off IR, but he is playing this week. And I think he's going to play the full company of snaps. He's actually also an interesting FanDuel play. Just a quick little side note to that. But Greg Olsen should be playing a lot. Cam Newton's going to welcome him back. I don't think he's going to be on a snap count, so I think if you own him, you're starting him. Number 7, we got Vernon Davis. Jordan Reed's already ruled out. Vernon Davis has been great when Reed's out. So there you go. It's as simple as that. You're plugging him in as well, of course, unless you have Gronk or any of these other guys we got higher than Vernon Davis. As I move to defense, Cincinnati, first one I want to talk about. We've got them ranked at number 4 against the Browns. Browns are great for fantasy defenses. Defense all do extremely well against them. The Browns have turnovers, don't score a ton of points, aka pick up Cincy available in a lot of leagues that are actually on our waiver wire show, so make sure you're scooping them if you listen to us. And then at number 13, want a quick chat with the Chargers. They're playing Dallas. Dallas can't score, obviously, but Dak didn't look good last week. While I don't think he's going to be as bad, they might see some things on film. You're not as worried about the running game, which makes it a little bit harder for Prescott. So just keep that in mind with the Chargers if you're in a deep league and you're scrambling for a defense. But they're a boomer bust candidate. They could have no turnovers and get 30 dropped on them. So it's a little scary. So that's it. One-man ranking show for week 12. I'll be back with my FanDuel stuff. And happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I am thankful for all of you guys. I hope you do great. I hope you do well. I hope you're going to make your playoffs and win your playoffs. And hope if you do that, you share some of our videos. Maybe we can get some more scrub. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. We haven't been asking for those. So if you are thankful for Smack Talk, leave a thumbs up. Nameco out.